Welcome back to the Deep Dive, listeners. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into fascinating topics. Today we're venturing into the world of terrestrial ecosystems.
Ooh.
Think forests, deserts, grasslands, all those vibrant communities thriving on land.
Right.
Whether you're a UPSC aspirant gearing up for the Environment and Ecology section of GS3, a student brushing up on your biomes, or just a curious mind wanting to understand our planet better, this one's for you.
Absolutely.
We've got a comprehensive guide on terrestrial ecosystems as our source material. So buckle up, because we're about to unearth some seriously cool insights.
You know, when we talk about terrestrial ecosystems, it's easy to just get caught up in picturing the plants and animals.
Right.
But what truly defines these ecosystems is the intricate dance between the living and non-living, the biotic and abiotic factors, as we call them in ecology.
Okay, I'm already intrigued. So it's not just about who's sharing the space, but how they're interacting with the environment itself. Tell me more.
Precisely. Think of it like this. The temperature, rainfall, sunlight, soil composition.
Yeah.
These abiotic factors set the stage, determining which players can even enter the game. Take the tundra, for example.
Okay.
The frigid temperatures in permafrost create a very exclusive club. Only those with the right adaptations can survive.
The tundra, our planet's frozen frontier. I remember learning about it in school, but honestly, it always felt a bit distant, like a landscape from another world.
Yeah,
But you're right, those extreme conditions really dictate who can make it there.
exactly. And even within the tundra, you have variations.
Okay.
The Arctic tundra, stretching across the northernmost reaches of our continents, is a harsh, windswept realm. But then you have the alpine tundra, found high up on mountaintops, even in tropical regions.
Wow.
Both are cold, but the challenges they pose to life are distinct.
So it's like comparing a polar expedition to scaling Mount Everest, both incredibly challenging, but in different ways. This is already highlighting how location and climate are major players in shaping these ecosystems.
Absolutely. Now imagine we shift gears and journey to a place where life explodes in a symphony of green, the forest ecosystems. These are the planet's lungs,
Yeah.
teeming with biodiversity and playing a critical role in regulating our climate. We're talking about roughly a third of the Earth's land surface covered in forests, each type with its own unique fingerprint.
Okay, I'm picturing those lush, vibrant landscapes now. But when we say types of forests, what are the key distinctions? I'm guessing climate plays a big role again?
It's a crucial factor. Let's start with the coniferous forests, also known as the taiga or boreal forests. These are the cool kids on the block dominating the high-latitude regions of the northern hemisphere. Picture a vast expanse of evergreen giants, pines, spruces, firs,
Oh, yeah?
all sporting those needle-like leaves and a conical shape that helps them shed snow like pros.
It's fascinating how form follows function in nature. Those adaptations make perfect sense in a cold, snowy environment. What kind of wildlife braves those conditions alongside the conifers?
You've got your hardy survivors like moose lynx wolves and a whole symphony of bird species. It's a quieter world compared to, say, a tropical rainforest, but every bit as captivating.
Speaking of tropical rainforests, that's where things get really vibrant, right? It's like stepping into a living kaleidoscope.
It's a sensory overload in the best possible way.
Yeah.
Imagine towering trees draped in vines, a dense canopy filtering the sunlight, creating a world of dappled shade below, and the diversity. It's estimated that over half of the world's plant and animal species call tropical rainforests home.
Wow, that's mind-boggling.
Huh.
And for our UPSC aspirants out there, this is a key point. The exceptional biodiversity of tropical rainforests is a frequent topic in environmental science questions.
It's crucial to understand why these ecosystems are so biodiverse. You've got consistent warmth, abundant rainfall, and a complex layered structure that creates a variety of niches for life to occupy.
So it's like a high-rise apartment building for nature with different species occupying different floors. That makes so much sense.
Now, let's not forget about a type of forest that often gets overshadowed, the temperate rainforests. These are the hidden gems found in coastal regions with high rainfall. Think towering redwoods and Douglas firs, their canopies draped in mosses and ferns, creating an almost mystical atmosphere.
So these are like the hybrid forests combining elements of both coniferous and tropical rainforests.
You could say that. They're incredibly productive ecosystems known for their lush undergrowth and towering evergreen trees. The Pacific Northwest of North America is a prime example, a region where the forest meets the sea in a spectacular display of life.
And this brings us to an important point, the interconnectedness of these ecosystems. We can't look at forests in isolation, because what happens in one type can impact others, and even the planet as a whole.
That's a crucial insight, and one that often comes up in UPSC exams. For example, deforestation in the Amazon rainforest can have ripple effects on global climate patterns impacting rainfall in other regions.
It's a stark reminder that we're all connected, and the health of these forests is directly tied to our own well-being.
Now let's shift gears and journey to a landscape that might seem less dramatic at first glance, but is equally vital, the grasslands.
Okay, I'm picturing those wide-open spaces, windswept plains, stretching as far as the eye can see. It's a very different vibe from the forests we just explored.
Exactly. Grasslands might not have the towering grandeur of forests, but they hold their own unique beauty and ecological importance. They're often called the breadbaskets of the world because of their fertile soils, making them vital for agriculture and supporting a surprising array of life.
That makes sense. I've always been fascinated by the wildlife that roams those open plains. It's a different kind of drama compared to the hidden world of a rainforest.
Absolutely. And just like forests, grasslands come in different flavors, each shaped by its climate and location. Let's start with savannas, the tropical grasslands found in regions with warm temperatures year-round and those distinct wet and dry seasons. Think of the African savanna with its iconic acacia trees dotting the landscape home to elephants, giraffes, lions. It's the setting for countless nature documentaries.
It's like stepping into a real-life Lion King. And for our UPSC aspirants, the savanna is a great example of how climate influences vegetation and animal life.
Yeah.
Those dry seasons and occasional fires play a big role in shaping the ecosystem.
Exactly. Then we have the steppes, temperate grasslands found in regions with colder winters and hotter summers.
Okay.
Picture shorter grasses, fewer trees, and vast windswept plains stretching for miles.
Wow.
Think of the prairies of North America or the steppes of Central Asia. These grasslands have historically supported nomadic cultures and vast herds of grazing animals.
It's amazing how different cultures have adapted to these unique environments.
Ah.
And speaking of adaptation, I can't help but think of the ecosystem that's often seen as the ultimate test of survival,
Yeah.
the desert.
Ah, yes, the desert. It's a place where life has to be resourceful, resilient, and remarkably adapted to thrive in extreme conditions.
Right.
We're talking low rainfall, scorching daytime temperatures, and often significant temperature drops at night. It's a landscape that pushes life to its limits.
It's fascinating how life finds a way, even in the harshest environments. I remember learning about cacti storing water and nocturnal animals avoiding the heat, but there must be so much more to it.
There is. Desert plants have evolved an arsenal of strategies to survive.
Okay.
Think deep root systems to tap into underground water sources, thick, waxy leaves to reduce water loss, and even spines to deter thirsty herbivores. Some, like cacti, have gone all in on water storage, turning their stems into reservoirs.
It's like they've become masters of water conservation, every drop precious.
Yeah.
And what about the animals? How do they cope with those extreme temperatures and limited resources?
Desert animals are masters of adaptation, too. Many are nocturnal, avoiding the scorching daytime heat by venturing out under the cover of darkness.
Okay.
Some burrow underground to escape the sun's intensity, creating cooler, more humid microclimates.
Right.
And they've evolved incredible physiological adaptations like specialized kidneys that conserve water and the ability to extract moisture from their food.
It's mind-boggling how life has sculpted itself to thrive in these challenging environments. It really highlights the power of evolution. But this brings us to a crucial point. We've explored the beauty and resilience of these terrestrial ecosystems, but we can't ignore the threats they face.
Unfortunately, you're right. Human activities are putting immense pressure on these ecosystems, impacting their delicate balance and threatening the incredible biodiversity they harbor.
Deforestation is a big one, especially in those vital tropical rainforests. It's heartbreaking to think of those lush landscapes being cleared for agricultural logging and mining.
It's a major concern, and not just for the loss of biodiversity. Deforestation also disrupts the climate regulation services these forests provide, releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere and contributing to climate change.
It's like we're unraveling the very fabric of our planet's life support system. And it's not just forests that are under threat. What about grasslands and deserts? What challenges are they facing?
Grasslands are threatened by overgrazing, which can lead to soil erosion and desertification, the process of fertile land turning into desert. Imagine a healthy grassland slowly transforming into a barren wasteland. It's a stark reminder of how human actions can tip the balance.
It's a sobering thought. And deserts, while already adapted to harsh conditions, are facing increasing pressure from activities like mining, off-road vehicle use, and the exacerbating effects of climate change, pushing those already arid conditions to the extreme.
It's a complex web of interconnected challenges. But here's the thing. We're not powerless in the face of these threats. There are individuals, organizations, and governments around the world working tirelessly to protect and restore these vital ecosystems.
That's encouraging to hear. I remember reading about initiatives like the Bond Challenge, a global effort aiming to restore millions of hectares of degraded land.
Exactly. The Bond Challenge is a fantastic example of international collaboration to combat land degradation. And there's also the concept of land degradation neutrality, or LDN, which aims to prevent further degradation and restore already degraded areas. It's a holistic approach that recognizes the interconnectedness of land, biodiversity, and human well-being.
So it's not just about protecting pristine wilderness areas, but also about managing the land we use for agriculture, urban development, and other human activities in a way that minimizes our impact.
Absolutely. Sustainable land management is crucial. It's about finding ways to meet our needs without compromising the health of these ecosystems for future generations. And this is where individual actions can make a real difference.
This is where it gets really interesting for everyone listening, not just the UPSC folks. Whether it's choosing sustainably sourced products, reducing our consumption, being mindful of our waste, advocating for policy changes, or simply educating ourselves and others about these issues, we can all be part of the solution. It's like that saying, think globally, act locally. We often feel powerless when facing these large-scale environmental challenges.
Yeah.
But remembering that our everyday choices have an impact can be empowering.
Absolutely. And one of the most impactful choices we can make is to become more aware of the hidden world beneath our feet, the soil.
Okay.
It's easy to take it for granted, but soil is a living ecosystem teeming with a vast network of microorganisms, fungi, and invertebrates that play crucial roles in everything from nutrient cycling to water filtration.
It's like a secret world bustling with activity. I've heard about the importance of soil health, especially for agriculture, but I never really thought about it as its own complex ecosystem.
It's fascinating when you delve into it. Imagine billions of tiny organisms working together to break down organic matter, releasing nutrients that plants need to grow. Without healthy soil, those terrestrial ecosystems we've been discussing wouldn't be able to function. It's the foundation upon which all that life thrives.
That's a powerful image. The soil as the unsung hero, the foundation of it all. And for our UPSC aspirants, this is a good reminder that soil conservation is a key topic within sustainable development. It's not just about protecting charismatic wildlife, it's about safeguarding the very building blocks of these ecosystems.
Precisely. And when we talk about conservation, it's important to remember that it's not just about setting aside pristine wilderness areas. It's about managing the land we use in a way that minimizes our impact. Think sustainable agriculture practices that protect soil health, urban planning, that incorporates green spaces, and responsible forestry that balances timber harvesting for ecosystem preservation.
It's about finding that balance, meeting our needs while ensuring the health of these ecosystems for generations to come. It's a tall order, but it's not impossible.
Absolutely. And the good news is that there are countless individuals, organizations, and governments working tirelessly to find solutions. We've got researchers studying how to restore degraded ecosystems, communities coming together to plant trees and protect local habitats, and policymakers developing policies that promote sustainable land use.
It's inspiring to see these efforts happening around the world, from grassroots initiatives to global collaborations like the Bond Challenge. It's clear that there's a growing awareness of the importance of protecting our planet's terrestrial ecosystems.
And that's where it all starts, with awareness. When we understand the intricate connections within these ecosystems, the threats they face, and the potential solutions, we become empowered to make a difference.
Well said. We've journeyed through the incredible diversity of terrestrial ecosystems, from the frozen tundra to the lush rainforests, from the vast grasslands to the arid deserts. We've learned about the delicate balance that sustains them, the threats they face, and the efforts underway to protect them.
And hopefully we've sparked a sense of wonder and a deeper appreciation for these remarkable landscapes that support life as we know it.
Exactly. So listeners, whether you're a UPSC aspirant, a student, or simply a curious individual, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep advocating for the health of our planet. After all, we're all part of this intricate web of life, interconnected and responsible for safeguarding these precious ecosystems.
Remember, the journey towards a more sustainable future starts with understanding and valuing the natural world around us.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into terrestrial ecosystems. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, stay curious.